Stop everything you are doing in the next 60 seconds. I will give you the single mental command that separates billionaires from the masses. It is the code that, once installed, makes the attraction of wealth an automatic process. But this command is useless without first understanding the fundamental law that governs it. The fact that your bank account is nothing more than a physical printout of your deepest, most dominant beliefs. Stay with me, and I guarantee the way. You see, money will be permanently altered. This is your contract of transformation. To sign it, subscribe now. Let's begin. There is an invisible law that governs fortune, a code embedded not in the economy, but in the mind. You look at those who have built empires and feel a distance, as if they were forged from a different metal. This is a lie, a carefully constructed illusion your old programming uses to keep you safe and small. The truth is that wealth is a vibration, an energy that responds to a specific mental frequency. It is not attracted to luck, to inheritance, or to special opportunities. It is attracted to the mind that has been engineered to receive it. This is not a philosophy. It is the physics of achievement. Your current financial reality is a perfect mirror reflecting the dominant code you have allowed to run in your mind. If that code is mediocrity, your life will be its printout. But today, you receive the key to the master program. You will rewrite the code. You will become the architect of your own fortune. The life of the average man is a reaction. He is a puppet pulled by the strings of the economy, his boss, and his circumstances. He waits for conditions to be right, for permission to be granted, for a lucky break to fall from the sky. This is the definition of a spiritual and financial slave. The master of his destiny operates from a completely different paradigm. He understands a terrifying and liberating truth. Nothing happens to him. Everything happens through him. His reality is not a random series of events, but a direct manifestation of his internal state. He is not the effect, he is the first cause. This is the ultimate burden and the ultimate power, to accept that every dollar in your account, every opportunity you have, every relationship in your life is your creation. There is no one to blame, and therefore there is no one who can stop you. This is the code of absolute sovereignty. Your first order of business is to burn the victim's script. Any story you tell yourself where someone or something else holds the power over your financial success is a lie you can no longer afford. You must sever all attachment to the comfort of blaming others for your lack of results from this day forward. You will begin each morning with a simple, powerful declaration: I am the source. You will look at your goals and know that the power to achieve them resides entirely within you. You will look at your problems and know that the solution will be born from your own mind. This is not arrogance. It is the highest form of spiritual responsibility. You are aligning yourself with the creative force of the universe itself. God did not create you to be a passive observer of your life. He created you to be a co-creator of your world. Your mind is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. You are not a ship drifting on the ocean, hoping for a favorable wind. You are the wind. You are the storm. You are the captain who commands the sea. Repeat this until it becomes the core of your being, because until you accept that you are the source, you will always be at the mercy of everything else. Look around you. The world is divided not by class or education, but by mental programming. 97% of people are running on a default software, a program installed at birth by society, family, and a system designed to create obedient workers, not sovereign kings. This program is called survival. Its primary functions are to avoid risk, seek comfort, and follow the herd. It whispers doubts, manufactures fears, and celebrates mediocrity as realism. Meanwhile, the 3% have consciously rejected this default programming. They have chosen to undergo a system upgrade, a mental overhaul. They install a new operating system, one built on a single premise: growth is the only security. They do not survive. They conquer, they do not follow. They lead. You have been living inside the 97% matrix, but the fact that you are hearing this means a crack has appeared. Through that crack, a new world is visible. A casual wish for wealth is an insult to the universe. It is a whisper that is drowned out by the roar of your own doubt. A weak fire produces little heat. A weak desire produces weak, pathetic results. This is the first law that separates the dreamer from the creator. The architect of fortune does not merely want to be rich. He develops a burning desire, a white-hot obsession that consumes all alternatives. This is not a passive hope. It is an active, demanding, relentless force that rearranges your entire being. It is the spiritual engine that makes the impossible inevitable. Your burning desire becomes a contract with your destiny. It declares to the universe, I will have this, or I will die in the attempt. There is no plan B. Procrastination becomes poison. Excuses become blasphemy. When your desire is this strong, you don't find a way. You carve a way through the rock of reality. The space between your current reality and your desired destiny is called maybe. It is the great twilight of indecision, the comfortable purgatory of I'll think about it. This is the graveyard where 97% of all great dreams are buried, and it is a place you must now vow to never visit again. A true decision is not a choice. It is a surgical act. It is the cutting away of all other possibilities. When you decide to become a man of fortune, you are not simply choosing a path. You are incinerating every bridge that leads back to mediocrity. There is no return. The new reality is the only option. The most common lie is the myth of perfect timing. You wait for more information, more confidence, a sign from the heavens. This is the ego's trap to keep you safe and stagnant. The masters of reality understand that a decision creates perfect timing. It forces the necessary resources and insights to appear. Your first act of power is to make one single irrevocable decision today. Not a big one, a small one. Decide on one habit you will start or one you will kill. Decide on one phone call you will make the decision and execute it immediately with absolute finality. This trains the muscle of certainty. This act sends a shock wave into the spiritual realm. It is a signal to the universe that you are no longer a man who asks, but a man who commands. A mind that is certain becomes a magnet. A mind that is hesitant repels every good thing it seeks. Clarity is a force of nature. The Bible confirms this in James 1-8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You cannot serve two masters, the master of your vision and the master of your doubt. To choose one is to forsake the other. The power is not in what you choose, but in the finality with which you choose it. This is the path of the king. To declare this is the way and to walk it as if no other path exists, because for you it no longer does. You are not a man of options. You are a man of decision. You are not a man who hopes. You are a man who decrees. You have been taught to see discipline as a cage, a restriction of your freedom, a tedious obligation. This is the greatest lie the mediocre mind tells itself to justify its own weakness. This lie keeps you enslaved to the most brutal of all masters, your own fleeting moods and impulses. The truth is the precise opposite. Discipline is not a prison. Discipline is the key that unlocks the prison. It is the sacred routine through which you forge a new self, a self that is no longer a slave to, I don't feel like it. It is the only path to true, unconditional freedom. The undisciplined man is a slave to his appetites, his distractions, and his procrastination. His life is a chaotic reaction to external stimuli. The disciplined man has built an internal fortress. He is the master of his own kingdom, and his will is law. He does what must be done, regardless of how he feels. Your new identity is not found in a moment of inspiration. It is built in the daily ritual of discipline. You do not become a new man by thinking about it. You become a new man by doing the Work consistently, especially when it is hard, especially when no one is watching. Choose one ritual, just one. It could be waking up at a.m. It could be 30 minutes of focused work before checking your phone. It could be a single set of push-ups. The task itself is irrelevant. The power is in the act of keeping a promise to yourself. This is how you rebuild self-trust from the ground up. This is the forge of character. Every time you choose the disciplined path over the easy one, you are casting a vote for your future self. You are sending a message to your subconscious that you are no longer governed by comfort, but by command. You are building the muscle of your will. Do not seek motivation. Seek to be moved by your own command. The freedom you crave does not live in doing whatever you want. It lives in becoming the man who can do what he has decreed. The routine you build is the foundation of the empire you will rule. Your discipline is your destiny before an empire is built of stone. It is first built of thought. Every great fortune, every monumental achievement existed first as a clear, precise, and emotionally charged image in the mind of its creator. Those who believe only what their eyes can see are condemned to live in the world created by others. Visualization is not daydreaming. It is a deliberate, focused, military-grade mental exercise. It is the act of commanding your subconscious mind to accept a new reality before it manifests. Your mind does not know the difference between an intensely imagined experience and a real one. It accepts the blueprint you give it and begins to build. Each day you must enter the laboratory of your mind. See the bank account balance, feel the steering wheel of the car, hear the conversations that confirm your success. Live in that reality with such intensity that you feel the gratitude for it now. This is not magic. It is the science of creation. What you hold in your mind, you will hold in your hand. Success loves speed. The universe rewards the man who acts. While the mediocre mind analyzes, hesitates, and seeks permission, the mind of the master evaluates, decides, and executes. The gap between those two modes of operation is the chasm between poverty and fortune. Procrastination is the most expensive tax you can pay. It is a tax on your dreams, your potential, and your time, paid directly to the bank of regret. Understand this: every second you spend in doubt, you are actively choosing scarcity. You are voting for the status quo with your inaction. The great lie is that you need all the information to make a perfect decision. This is a trap. You will never have all the information. You make a decision with the information you have, and you correct your course along the way. A wrong decision is infinitely better than no decision at all, because even a mistake provides data, momentum, and a lesson. No man becomes a titan alone. This is a fundamental law. The lone wolf may survive, but he will never build an empire. The greatest fortunes are not the product of a single mind, but of a symphony of minds working in perfect harmony. A mastermind is more than a network. It is a living, breathing entity. When two or more minds align in a spirit of absolute harmony for a definite purpose, a third, invisible mind is born. This third mind is a direct channel to a higher intelligence, unlocking solutions, ideas, and opportunities inaccessible to any single individual. Choose your inner circle as if your life depends on it, because it does. The frequency of the people around you will become your reality. Surround yourself with doubters, complainers, and victims, and their code will infect yours. Surround yourself with visionaries, executors, and believers, and their power will amplify your own. Every act of decision unleashes a spiritual force. When you move from a state of I should to I will, you are not merely changing your mind. You are changing your energetic signature. You are sending a clear, unambiguous command to the universe, and the universe, which abhors a vacuum, must respond. Procrastination is the act of praying for failure. With every delay, you are affirming your own powerlessness. You are telling God, the universe, and your own subconscious that you do not trust yourself, that you are not ready, that you are not worthy. This is a prayer that is always answered with more stagnation. The formula is simple but brutal in its power. Decide and then act as if it is impossible to fail. Do not wait for confidence. Your action will create your confidence. Do not wait for clarity. Your movement will create your clarity. The path is made by walking, not by staring at the map. Faith is not hope. Hope is a beggar, pleading with the future to be kind. Faith is a king, commanding the future to obey, the billionaire. Mind does not hope for wealth. It operates from a state of unshakable faith that wealth is its natural state, its divine right. This is the code. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. Your external world is a delayed reflection of your internal conviction. If you hold the conviction of a wealthy person, the universe has no choice but to deliver the physical evidence. It is a law as certain as gravity. Most men pray with an undercurrent of doubt. They ask for abundance while vibrating with a fear of lack. This creates a chaotic signal. To activate financial faith, your entire being must align. Your thoughts, your words, and your emotions must all broadcast the same message. I am wealth. It is done. This is faith in action. You feel it in the quiet moments, don't you? A low-level anxiety, a tightness in the chest when you think about money. It's the invisible wall of not enough that seems to box you in, no matter how hard you work. This is the prison of the scarcity mindset, and you have unknowingly been its most loyal inmate. This is not a character flaw. It is a mental virus, a corrupted piece of code passed down through generations. Its sole function is to distort your perception, forcing you to see lack in a universe of abundance. It makes you celebrate caution, worship survival, and view wealth as something reserved for a chosen few. You were not born with this code. It was installed in you by a society that taught you to be realistic, by experiences that taught you to be fearful, by a system that profits from your belief in limitation. Today, we begin the deprogramming sequence. We will locate this virus and we will starve it to death. The first command is to sever its food supply. Your attention, you must declare a ruthless embargo on all thoughts of lack from this moment on. You will refuse to entertain, to verbalize, or to validate any thought that begins with, I don't have enough. This is your first act of rebellion against your old self. Your new daily ritual is the abundance audit. You will aggressively hunt for evidence of prosperity in the flawless design of a single leaf, in the billion-dollar infrastructure of your city, in the genius idea of a competitor. You will train your mind to see wealth until seeing wealth becomes your default setting. This is the activation of a universal law. That which you focus on expands. The man who focuses on his debts only creates more debt. The man who focuses on the circulation of value becomes a magnet for it. The universe does not give you what you want. It gives you more of what you already are. You are no longer a host for the virus of scarcity. You are an architect of abundance, a conscious creator of your financial reality. Your mind is now a sanctuary for prosperous thoughts only. This is your new code. This is who you are now. Execute it without deviation. The world will never value you more than you value yourself. Your income, your relationships, and your impact will never outgrow your own self-image. A lack of self-confidence is the ultimate act of self-betrayal, and it is the single greatest repellent of fortune. Self-confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is a mask worn by the insecure. True self-confidence is a quiet internal certainty. It is the deep cellular knowledge that you were created with purpose and endowed with the power to fulfill it. It is the final authority on your own worth. You build this muscle not by achieving great things, but by keeping the small promises you make to yourself. Each time you do what you said you would do, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. You are either building trust in yourself or destroying it with every choice you make. Today, start being the man whose word to himself is law. The cycle of scarcity is a hypnotic trance, a self-perpetuating loop of thought and result. To break it requires a conscious, forceful intervention. There are three keys you must turn, not once, but daily, until a new cycle of abundance becomes your automatic reality. The first key is to change your focus. You must stop auditing your lack and start celebrating abundance. Make a written or mental inventory each day of the wealth that already exists around you, in the genius of others, in the perfection of nature, in your own untapped skills. Where your attention goes, energy flows. The second key is to change your circle. Disconnect from the voices of scarcity, the complainers, the critics, the fearful. You are absorbing their frequency by osmosis. Intentionally seek out and immerse yourself in environments where talk of millions is normal, where big goals are the standard, and where problems are seen as puzzles, not punishments. The third key is to change your contribution. The fastest way to receive is to give. Scarcity hoards, abundance circulates. Give of your time, your knowledge, your energy without expecting an immediate return. This act signals to the universe that you trust the flow, that you know more is always on its way. There is a vast difference between wanting something and being utterly consumed by the need to achieve it. The world is full of men who want a better life. The world is led by the very few who have a burning desire for it. This is not a preference. It is a spiritual mandate. A burning desire is a goal that has been emotionalized to the point of obsession. It is the first and last thought of your day. It dictates your choices, disciplines your habits, and fuels you when logic says you should quit. It is the force that makes you unstoppable because the thought of not achieving it is more painful than any obstacle you could possibly face. You are not born with this. You build it. You take a clear, definite goal. You write it down. You read it aloud twice daily. You infuse it with every ounce of emotion you can muster until your subconscious mind has no choice but to accept it as a command. This is how you transform a mere wish into a force of nature. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. The graveyard of mediocrity is filled with brilliant men who knew what to do but never did it. The difference between a dream and a reality is a bridge called consistent action. Not massive, sporadic action, but small, relentless, daily action. The lie is that you need motivation to act. The truth is that action is the creator of motivation. You do not feel your way into acting. You act your way into feeling. The simple act of starting, of taking one small step, generates the emotional fuel for the next. This is the engine of momentum. Your greatest enemy is not failure. It is the internal negotiation you have with yourself before you act. The voice that says, "I'll do it tomorrow, I'm too tired, it's not the right time." You must silence this voice with immediate execution. When you know you must do something, you do it. Now, this is the discipline that forges titans. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. It is the divine element that can transmute the thought vibration of desire into its physical counterpart. Without it, your greatest plans are lifeless blueprints. With it, you command the invisible forces to conspire in your favor. Applied faith is not a passive belief that things will work out. It is the active, unwavering conviction that they have already worked out in the spiritual realm and are now simply awaiting their turn to manifest in the physical. It is to see with your mind what you cannot yet see with your eyes. You cultivate this power by ruthlessly guarding your mind against its enemies: doubt, fear, and worry. Every time you allow a negative thought to take root, you are poisoning your faith. You must treat your mind as a sacred garden, allowing only the seeds of conviction, abundance, and victory to be planted there. Your imagination is the only workshop in the universe that can shape your desires from formless energy into tangible reality. Everything man has ever created, from a skyscraper to a spaceship, existed first as a precise image in the imagination. The man who neglects to use this faculty is a man who leaves his greatest power dormant. To visualize is to program your future. It is a daily, disciplined practice of creating a mental movie of your success, so vivid and so emotionally charged that your subconscious mind accepts it as memory. You are giving your brain the destination before the journey begins, and it will begin to unconsciously guide you there. Do not merely think of wealth. Feel the reality of it. Feel the gratitude, the freedom, the power. When you combine a clear image with a powerful emotion, you create a magnetic field that draws to you the people, resources, and circumstances that match that vision. You are literally commanding reality to conform to your inner blueprint. There will come a moment when the world tests you, a moment when logic, evidence, and every voice around you screams for you to stop, a moment of pain, of failure, of utter exhaustion. This is not the end. This is the true beginning. It is the final gate you must pass through to claim your victory. Most men fail at this gate. They mistake this test for a verdict. They see temporary defeat as permanent failure. They do not understand that this is the universe asking one simple question: how badly do you truly want this? Your persistence is your answer. It is the only answer that matters. Persistence is not just trying again. It is the refusal to accept any reality other than the one you have decided to create. It is a spiritual stubbornness, an unwavering conviction that your victory is not just possible but inevitable. It is faith made active, a force that grinds mountains into dust over time. You must understand this. Every obstacle carries within it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. Every closed door is a redirection to a better path. The man who persists does not see setbacks. He sees strategic adjustments. He does not see enemies. He sees training partners. This is how you build the muscle. You learn to stand firm in the storm. You learn that pain is temporary, but the identity you forge by enduring it is permanent. You are not just building a business or a bank account. You are building an unshakable character. The world does not yield to talent. It yields to resolve. The law of persistence is absolute. If you do not quit, you cannot fail. It may take a month, a year, or a decade, but the forces of the universe must eventually align with the man who refuses to be denied. You're relentless. Pressure will eventually cause reality to break in your favor. So when you face that moment of trial, you will smile. You will recognize it as the final exam. You will not retreat. You will not waver. You will push forward one more step. Because you are a man who finishes what he starts. You are a man who does not quit. Victory is not your hope. It is your sentence. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. These are not just words. They are a declaration of your divine authority. The power to create a life of unlimited wealth, impact, and freedom does not reside outside of you. It has been within you all along, waiting for your command. The world will give you whatever you ask of it, but it will not give you what you do not demand. You must now make a final, irrevocable decision. Will you continue to be a passenger in your own life, subject to the whims of circumstance? Or will you seize the wheel, become the architect, and build the empire you were born to rule? The choice is yours. The tools have been given. The laws have been revealed. There are no more excuses. Your destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Decide now, act now, and claim the fortune that is your birthright. Your training is not over. In fact, it has just begun. These are not concepts to be understood. They are codes to be installed through relentless repetition. This is your mission now, should you choose to accept it. Your new life is forged in ritual. Do not let this fire die. Return to this video. Make it your morning command. Listen to it on your way to battle in the world. Let these words become the operating system of your mind until the voice of doubt is silenced and the voice of command is the only one you hear. Your new identity is waiting. To seal your commitment to this path, go to the comments now and write this declaration. I am the source. Let the world know a decision has been made. And if these words ignited a fire in you, do not keep the flame to yourself. Share this video with one other man who you know is destined for greatness but is currently trapped by his own mind. Be the ally that pulls another soldier from the trenches. Now go and execute.